Hi, so I'm currently a Boston University incoming sophomore. I'm class of 2026, and literally applying to college and then finally going to college has taught me a lot of things. College tours are misleading. A lot of things about college are misleading. I'm happy at BU for like the most part. Some parts I wish I knew about them before I came here. So if you're applying to colleges, I'm making this video for you, so you don't get confused, because I sure was confused. And like the thing about going to like college tours and stuff, you're getting the completely biased view. Like you're getting like only the good stuff. They're not gonna tell you the real honest stuff. And like I honestly wish people would tell me that, so like it just gives you a better picture of colleges. Here are some things about Boston University that I wish I knew before I applied or before I attended. Honestly, a lot of these aren't like deal breakers for like applying. Most of these are for like people who are going to BU. You should know about these things before you go. You can also use it if you're applying, so yay. These are in completely random order, in the order that I thought of them. So here we go. So the first thing, PDP classes exist and they're really cool. So we have FitRec, which is like our gym thing, whatever. They have 1 credit classes where you can sign up for basically any sport, any style of dance, basically anything, and they're just 1 credit, really fun classes. There are classes all the way from intro to backpacking, to intro to sailing, to ballroom dancing, to ice skating, to healthy cooking. Literally anything athletic, they probably have it, and the classes are literally 1 credit, so if you get an A in it, it's basically an automatic GPA booster. I might as well address this now for talking about GPAs. So grade deflation. BU is notorious for having like really big grade deflation, and like I don't know if this is just because I'm not in a STEM field, but I have not experienced any grade deflation at all. And like most of my friends have not experienced grade deflation either. My dog is going crazy. Most of my friends haven't experienced that much grade deflation either. I've heard of a couple people, but really not that many. I don't know why BU gets such a bad reputation for like deflating grades, because I've seen very few people experience it. So the first year experience class. At orientation, you are going to be asked a million times to join the first year experience class. That's FY 101. Basically, this class is like, I don't want to say it's useless, but it's kind of useless. Like basically all the things that you go over are like things that you probably already know. Like how to pick classes, how to make a meeting with your advisor. It's like stuff like that. Like a lot of this stuff is very easy to figure out by just Googling it on the website, or honestly by just asking another person. It wasn't really worth an entire class for it. Like yes, again, GPA booster, but like it was kind of a waste of my time. The only thing I got about that was I really got to know my advisor, which that was cool. Here's another thing. This is honestly a good thing about BU. They should really publicize this more. BU advising, at most other colleges, advising is like you have 1 professor and they advise like a certain amount of people. At BU, there are just advisors. That is their only job, to be advisors. And it's very nice because you can contact them like anytime. They're not busy with like certain things. It's literally their job to be only advisors. A very good job, BU. Thank you for that one. So transportation. BU makes a really big deal about transportation. Transportation apps, they're incredibly misleading. So first we have the T, which is Boston's subway line. The T is on like Google Maps or like Apple Maps or stuff. Those times are like almost always off by a few minutes or incorrect. And then we have the BU buses, which run all across campus for the entire time. We have like an app that tells you the bus times. Those apps are almost always incorrect. There's some other app, I don't know like who made it, but it's called Translock. It tells you like the actual times of the buses. Download that app instead of Terrier Transit. You don't need Terrier Transit. Also, you're gonna have to walk a lot. Like, the buses and the T, they come, but like not very often. You're going to have to walk. And like, you're gonna be late at least a couple times because transportation said that they were gonna come and then they didn't come. That's happened to me multiple times. So this is something new for my grade. There's something called first year experience counselors, which are basically like guidance counselors, but for only freshmen. Me and my first year experience counselor were like tight. Without them, I probably wouldn't have gotten through like a lot of college. So really take advantage of that when you're a first year student. Like you'll probably get a couple emails from them. Take advantage of them. Make meetings with them. They're really cool people and I really enjoy it. BU and other like Boston in general will make a big deal out of paying for a semester long subway card, the T card. Don't buy that. All of the stops that run through BU, they are above ground stops. So meaning most of the time, if they open any of the doors besides the front doors, you can just walk on and get on for free and you never have to pay. You should at least have a card with like a little bit on it, but like the likelihood that you're gonna have to pay while going on BU campus is like kind of low, except for some of the asshole conductors who only open the front doors and then you're like annoyed, so then you walk all the way to doors and by the time that you get to the doors, they close the doors and the subway's off. Like that's annoying. For the most part, you're fine. fine. You don't need the T card. Oh, so the BU Hub. The BU Hub is full of misinformation. I wasn't really considering like core requirements when I was applying to college. I was more focusing on like location and stuff. So the BU Hub is BU's version of core. That they say it's different because instead of having like math, English, science, they have like different categories. Here are some of the categories. Yay. But the problem is, in these categories, you have 26 hub units that you need to fulfill. That doesn't sound like a lot, but it is a lot. Considering that most classes only fulfill 2 to 3 hub units. Additionally, most of your classes for your major probably don't fulfill any hub units. I'm just lucky because I switched to education and a lot of the education major classes have hub credits, but the thing is the education major is so many classes that I wouldn't have time to fill the hub credits anyway. So like I know for communication majors, Com 101, like the intro class gives you 2 or 3 hub units, but like after that none of your major classes give you hub units. So it's almost a guarantee that you're gonna have to take classes that you don't want to take. But like BU plays it off as like, oh, like you'll still get to take like interesting classes, like and like I hate math, okay? I've hated math my entire life, and so BU's version of that is quantitative reasoning, and I have to take 2 classes that fulfill that. So I was in epidemiology, and like the thing is like it's not like calculus, but like it's still math, and I still did not enjoy it. And like in the future I'm probably gonna have to take a lab science, which I was trying to never do. I like just don't want to do that. So you're gonna have to take things that you don't want to take. Also, along with hub units, we have the glorious writing seminars. For the most part, first year writing seminars are amazing. I love everyone in my class. That was like the most fun class I've ever had. However, the second writing seminar, BU does a very good job of being very hush-hush about this. So you have the first year writing seminar, and then you have the second writing seminar. You can take the second writing seminar whenever you want, but like you have to take that second writing seminar. There are no other substitutions to that. So that can leave you in very interesting situations. One of my roommates actually, he took a second writing seminar class, and his professor was kind of insane. They graded them on presentations, but they graded them by how loudly they spoke, how good their posture was, how much they had it memorized, which like, if that's what you want, good for you, but that's definitely not something that I want. So just be cautious about second writing seminars. Also with the hub, if you have AP credits, that's only good for like certain things. So for example, say that you're a psychology major. If you took AP Psych and you got a 4 or 5, that will get you out of Intro to Psychology, but that's it. And the thing is, those hub units that you got out of Intro to Psychology don't really matter because you were going to get them by being a psychology major anyway. Really, the only time the AP scores matter is if it's in a field that you are not doing. So like say I'm a psychology major and I have an AP calculus credit. That would actually help me because then I would get out of a quantitative reasoning class, which I would never take as a psych major because that's not one of the credits that psych majors get. So AP credits, kind of weird. I was only gonna take the AP English test in high school because that was the only one that I was actually doing okay at. BU like doesn't even take credit for either of the AP Englishes. They take like credit as in like number credit, but they don't to get you out of any classes. So it's basically useless. Don't waste your time doing that. So language requirements. Depending on your major, BU has various language requirements. I'm pretty sure everyone in College of Arts and Sciences has a language requirement. I was in comm and now I'm in the education college. I have no language requirement. It's really nice for people that aren't me, but I wanted to take ASL, so obviously I'm basically doing my own language requirement. But it's very nice for some people that never want to take a language ever again. But if you're in College of Arts and Sciences, you're kind of out of luck. You have to take a language. However, apparently some schools you have to take 6 semesters of language. At BU, you only have to take 4. So that must be good in some way. So one of the things that everyone that I know says about BU is that we don't have a campus. That's literally like not true, because the thing is BU's campus is literally a straight fucking line. For a mile stretch, every single building on the sides, on each side of the road is a BU building. And almost every single side street, every building on that side street is a BU building. Like, the thing is people are like, oh, if you don't have a campus, like, you're not gonna, like, run into friends, like, when you're walking. You literally will. You have 2 choices of which side of the road you're walking on. The likelihood that you and someone else are walking on the same side of the road is pretty high. So you're gonna run into people. And also, my favorite thing about BU's campus is that it's almost impossible to get lost. You only have 2 directions you can go. So you're either going this way or that way. So if you get lost, it's pretty obvious how. So that's kind of nice. But the only thing about the straight line is, I already mentioned this before, you're gonna have to walk a lot. Like, get used to it. I got used to it, kind of. I still complain a lot of the time, though. Here's the thing, transportation, you can take it, but it's very much a toss-up, so get ready to walk. Oh, also, BU is notorious for never canceling classes ever. One day, all of the Boston colleges canceled classes, but we still had classes, and BU told us, don't touch any frozen doorknobs, because if you do, your hand's gonna get stuck to them. Instead, just wear gloves, when all of the other colleges just said, we're not having classes today. So you need need winter boots, you need winter gloves, you need winter hat. It gets fucking cold sometimes, and BU is going to make you walk to your class. Oh, this one's a kind of yucky one. So BU acts like they're all queer friendly. In every single syllabus, there'll be a thing about preferred names and pronouns. It's literally in every syllabus, they have to do it. It's like obligated by the school that they have to display that. BU professors do not really, for the most part, respect pronouns. Unless it's a small class and they know you, they really just don't care. Obviously, I'm like a they person, and I've said many times, like at the beginning of class, they always ask for pronouns like on a little piece of paper, and then you give it to them, and then they just don't listen to them, which like, that sucks. It sucks a lot. And also, this thing sucks the most. If your name is legally changed, then you can change your name on BU. But if you do not have your name legally changed, they will not change your name in the system to your chosen name. So anytime that like it's your first class and they're giving out attendance, they're going to call your birth name. And if you're someone like me and you don't want them to do that, you're pretty much out of luck unless you legally change your name. BU says that like let you do it in their system. They don't. There's absolutely no way to change your name in like any of the classes, any of like the housing. You just can't. I don't want to say deal with it because I really fucking hate it, but like you just learn to deal with it and it sucks. That is one thing about BU. They are not the most queer friendly as they appear to be. Not be careful, but buckle up, get ready. Okay, this one's kind of bad. So if you're in the Questrom School of Business or the College of General Studies, you're gonna be the butt of almost every joke. And like the thing is, Questrom students pretty much know that everyone jokes about them because they're the business school, but CGS kids, pretty much everyone shits on them. And like only a little bit, because the thing about CGS is after your sophomore year, you're done, you're like in whatever college you choose to go to. But like, oh hi BB, hi puppy. But like every time that you like CGS, you're literally gonna get shat on. And like, I'm sorry, but like this is just how everything is. The only thing about CGS that's good is that you hang out with like pretty much only CGS people because that's what your classes are. So that's good. But like Questrom and CGS are going to be the butt of a lot of jokes. I don't want to say warning you, but just be careful. Okay, BU's dining plans are so fucking strange. For some reason, they decided to change them this year and everyone's pissed off because there was like a BU life hack with dining points, but now you can't do that anymore. So I hope that this works. What I'm doing is that basically the unlimited meal swipes plan with the least amount of dining points is the least expensive dining plan, as well as the kosher dining plan, which is 10 meals a week in any of the dining halls, as well as the halal dining hall, and 100 more dining points. So I picked that one just because I don't want to pay like $400 extra for dining points, because let's be honest, you're probably not going to use your dining points at only BU restaurants. You're probably going to be paying out of pocket at a lot of places. A lot of the restaurants on Commonwealth Avenue, they're not BU restaurants. Some of them are, but most of them are not. So you're going to pay out of pocket for those. Dining plans, figure it out. It's just so strange. Oh, so Boston's a weird city in that it's like not New York City, but it's still like a big city. Going from point A to point B might not be possible on public transportation, so you probably are going to have to take an Uber at least once or twice if you have to go somewhere like specific or like outlandish. Public transportation sucks everywhere, but in Boston, you'll know the T is incredibly slow, and once again, like I said before, it's incredibly unpredictable. If you're in a rush and you're trying to get somewhere that you would normally take public transportation for, just get an Uber. This one's cool. So BU has gender neutral housing. You have to opt into it on your housing application, but the thing about gender neutral housing that a lot of people put past is that gender neutral housing freshmen have to be placed in one of 3 locations. They're either in the Howard Johnson Hojo, Miles Standish Hall, or 10019 Commonwealth Avenue. So 10019 is all the way on west. It's literally on the complete other side of campus, but then we have Miles also on the complete almost other side of campus, and Hojo's like kind of close to Miles. If you have an option to rank your preferences for those, pick Miles. Miles is the nicest dorm. It was just renovated. It has a lot of nice things. It's like suite style, so there's like several rooms and then a bathroom that everyone shares. I was in Hojo, but for some reasons that I won't specify, I switched out and I was in Miles, and Miles is so much nicer. Like, here's the thing, I originally picked Hojo because it was fewer people sharing a bathroom, but Hojo's rooms are cramped. Everyone's in one room. The thing about the Miles suites is there are separate rooms. Like, everyone has their own personal space. Like, if you're in a triple in Hojo, you're all in the same room, and all of the beds are lofted in Hojo, which is extremely annoying. So technically it's less people to a bathroom, but like, that building is so old and so gross. Just pick Miles if you have the choice to do it. A lot of people struggle to get into Miles for like future housing, but if you are already in Miles, you have priority over everyone else. So if you have the option for gender neutral housing, just pick Miles. Also, on the subject of roommates, I've had some things happen. Some things have happened, which, yeah. And roommates, just pick random roommates. Just pick random roommates. Just do it. Trust me, just do it. Oh, also, on the subject of things, so BU Health is notorious for not being the best, especially BU's behavioral health. I don't really have much experience with that, but however, BU's sexual assault and responsiveness program, something like sexual assault response program, SARP, they are incredible. They literally are like the best people at BU. They like pride themselves on being way better than like all of the BU mental health sources. SARP is amazing. If you like need that kind of stuff, SARP is absolutely incredible. So that's the things that I remembered to say about BU. I'm sure I'll think of other things, but like, who knows? If you have any questions, comment them below. I'd be happy to answer them. I hope I didn't shit on BU that much, because like, I had a good-ish first year. A lot of things were rough, but like, obviously it's like college. What else do you expect? So I hope you're having a good day. I hope that you expected only Fall Out Boy content and you're disappointed that I didn't give you Fall Out Boy content. I tried to record a Fall Out Boy song, but I could not find the USB cord to plug the microphone in, so you get this instead. You're welcome for the lovely consolation prize. Okay, have fun applying to college or going to college. Goodbye!